Shabbat Shalom, everyone. This month is a very special month, the month of Elul, in which we start getting prepared for the upcoming high holy days. We start blowing shofar every single day. We add chapter of Psalms every single day. But we also do some serious introspection in ourselves and see how we're going to change ourselves for the upcoming year. And so one of the things that we do is seeing how we are acting with our family. And that's very much connected to this week's Torah portion. In this week's Torah portion, Parshat Teitzei, we have a very obscure law, a law which never happened in the Torah, and a law which just sounds awful. And that is a law of a ben sorer u'moreh. Is a child who's a rebellious child. He's a glutton. He drinks wine. He eats meat. And because of that, the parents bring him to the Jewish court and say, we can't do anything with this child. And the Jewish court says, if that's the case, then we must kill him. Kill a child? Why can we kill a child? How could you ever kill a child? The child is not an adult. An adult does something wrong. They can go through the process of a beis din, but it's a child. And so the court says the reason why they're put to death is because of the future. In the future, they know if this is the way he's acting now, imagine how bad it's going to be in the future. To this, the rabbis ask a simple question, and that is, number one, how can we ever try someone today based on a future crimes? And number two is that don't we have the concept of tshuva? This is the whole month of tshuva. It's a month of return. This is the month in which we all start to do tshuva. How could it be? You can have a child that has a difficult upbringing, but then later on in life, they can do tshuva, they can repent, they can return, they can become a great kid. How could we ever give up on this child right now and, God forbid, put him through the process of killing him? Even like I said, the law never actually happens, in just in the theory behind it, because of something that happens in the future. You can never be tried for something that happens in the future because you can only be tried on something that actually you did. And therefore the rabbis explain, why was this law actually included into the Torah? Is to teach us a very powerful lesson. What happens here? Let's look back at the scenario. The parents come and they bring him to the Jewish court and they say, there's nothing that we can do for this child. Meaning the parents gave up on their child. And because of that, the rabbis explain that in the future this child will have no hope. The reason why this child will not have any hope is because the parents are saying themselves that they have given up on this child. And this is the grave mistake that these parents made. This is the lesson that the rabbis are teaching us in this Torah portion. Why the law of a ben sorer u'moreh, a rebellious child, which never actually occurred in the Torah, is there. And that is, we can never give up on our child. We can never give up on our children. Sometimes our children do terrible things. They're difficult things that we can't deal with. And we say, you know what, I can't deal with the situation anymore. This is the time, the month of Elul says, it's time to deal with it. It's time to connect to our children. I heard a story recently of a father and who was living in the same home as his own child. He wasn't speaking to his child for years. They finally picked up the phone and said, you know what, if you're not going to speak to me, I'm going to speak to you. This is the time in which we give up our egos and anything problems that we may have created that created conflict between family. And it's a time to make peace. Make peace with our family, make peace with our siblings, make peace with our parents, and make peace with our children. And we never give up on a child. God forbid we give up on a child, that child won't have any hope. As long as we're there with our parents, as long as they're with our child, we're out thick and through thin, they will always be able to be a case of success. And so as we go into this Shabbos Parshat Teitzei, we're not just talking about our own children, which God forbid we would never give up on our own children, but it's also metaphorically, and that is with God. God can't give up on us, because if he gives up on us, then he can't have any excuse of why we may not be the best way we are. But we know for sure that God never gives up on his children. And that's why the month of Elul and Rosh Hashanah come back to remind us. We blow the shofar to wake ourselves up and to get prepared, to remind God that we're here, to remind God that we're making him our king, and remind God that we are his children, Avinu Malkeinu, our father first, and then our king. And once we remind him, as a father has to take care of his child, as a parent has to take care of a child, so too we ask God to please grant us all a ksiva v'chasima tova, l'shana tova mesuka. We should be inscribed and sealed for a happy, healthy, and sweet new year. Shabbat shalom, everyone. See you tonight, 7:30, and tomorrow, 10 a.m.